go live here? Oh, we are live. Okay, very good.
We are live.
It says you are live. Good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. With me today is Mike Weibel. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Ken.
How are you today?
I am good on this Monday morning. It's Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day to everyone. All the veterans out there, we appreciate you. We thank you for protecting freedoms and our country, and you are true patriots. So thank you for doing that. We appreciate that. Many of you, if you aren't a veteran and you don't know a veteran, and no one you know is a veteran, think veteran anyway, because we're living here in the free United States of America.
And it just seems like having Veterans Day is just not enough.
Yeah. Well, and we do more. We do more, and probably still not enough. But I mean, you have the whole federal Veterans Agency. Yep. You've got a lot of local Veterans Assistance Offices. In fact, that was commanded by Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Way back when. And so you've got a lot to have access to. But again, there's still been a lot of problems, Veterans Affairs Department and such, but they've been trying to clean up their act. So hopefully they're going to continue to get better. I was telling you earlier off the air that was one of the biggest things that we were always contacted about when I worked in the congressional office was veterans issues, because they just weren't getting the attention that they needed from the federal agencies that were designed to help them. It became more of a hassle.
Yeah.
To get help.
Bureaucracy sets in, and
the bureaucracy and the paperwork, and it's all the way over there in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
All right. It's Monday morning, November 11th. We have a lot to talk about this morning. We do have news to get to in just a couple of minutes here. What do you want to talk about this hour? Oh, we should talk about the turkey thing, because we mentioned that we should come up with a name.
Yes.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer is going to pardon a turkey soon for Thanksgiving. It's a tradition. I mean, presidents do it, governors do it. I don't know who else does it, but the turkeys appreciate it. And
or at least the one that gets pardoned.
The ones that get pardoned. Yeah. Not the others. Oh, good for Sam.
Right.
Not good for us. But so maybe we can come up with a name for a turkey for the governor to pardon, because the naming contest runs through your chance to get a name in runs through tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. So we'll do that.
Okay.
All right. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Just a couple of minutes away, we will head into news from the WSJM newsroom. Let's go back to ABC News.
Forced labor in prisons.
Voters in 15 states have ended forced labor in prison. Prop 6 would have changed California's constitution to ban involuntary servitude in prison. Prisoners would have had to have a say in if they worked and would have had to make money if they did work. California voters choosing to allow forced labor in prisons and jails to continue.
That's ABC's Alex Stone reporting on that story from Los Angeles. In Amsterdam, dozens of pro-Palestinian demonstrators have been detained by police after defying a ban on public protests. Protests were outlawed for several days after last week's anti-Semitic violence targeting fans of an Israeli soccer club. The ban on protests has now been extended until the end of this week. A Chicago man found his long-lost mom at a local bakery.
It's the most joyful story.
Lindsay was 17 years old when she gave up her newborn son for adoption. Hunter was 35 when he learned he was adopted, so he submitted DNA results for genetic testing. Turns out he and his birth mom lived in the same neighborhood, and he was a regular customer at the bakery she owned.
It further strengthens my faith.
She was facing a health crisis, so Hunter, who had no prior baking experience, took over the bakery.
Now they're working together, says ABC's Allison Cossack. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Bioptimizer's Black Friday blowout sale is now. For 20 years, Bioptimizers has provided top supplements like Magnesium Breakthrough, the only product with all 7 types of magnesium to support sleep, stress management, hormone balance, and mood. Make your health a priority this holiday season and visit bioptimizers.com/radio and use code RADIO to get a minimum of 10% off and up to $100 in free gifts with purchase. Go to bioptimizers.com/radio and use code RADIO today.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Almost forgot where I was. Here we are. It's the
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you. Wow. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg, and with me this morning is Mike Weibel. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
It's Veterans Day, so happy Veterans Day, and a special thank you to all of you who have served in our active U.S. military. And you get sometimes you get free meals, sometimes you get free donuts.
Yep.
You always get our appreciation for
For sure.
protecting our freedom and our democracy. So thank you very much on this Veterans Day. If you take advantage of some of the special deals out there, just remember, take your military card, your military ID card with you, because believe it or not, some jackhorns are out there masquerading as veterans trying to get discounts.
Right.
So unfortunately, you got to do that. Anyway, happy Veterans Day. Some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom in just a moment. First, the forecast. We are looking for partly sunny skies today, a high around 55 degrees, west winds becoming northwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour, with gusts up to 30. So it's going to be breezy out there today, and that's going to blow into the possibility of some sprinkles tonight. We're going to have some evening sprinkles, according to the meteorologists, and then it's going to clear up, giving us a low overnight, chilly, around 35 degrees. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow's forecast, Tuesday, is going to be partly sunny, high around 47 degrees, with some east winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. So the winds are turning around again.
Yeah.
Crazy time of year.
Yep.
Crazy time of year.
Cardigan on, cardigan off.
That's right.
Cardigan on, cardigan off.
Some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom. Firefighters responding this morning to a fire at the Travel Lodge at 2063 Pipestone in Benton Township. Fire officials reporting both the Benton Harbor Department of Public Safety and the Benton Charter Township Fire Department responded. They found a fire in one room of the Travel Lodge. Officials say the fire was quickly knocked down. There were no reports of any injuries. And so good news at the Benton Township Travel Lodge. Other news now that the Michigan legislature will be operating as a Republican-led House and Democrat-led Senate, the next Speaker of the House says it's time to work together. Republicans will take the majority in the House early next year, and that's when Matt Hall will become the leader of the 103rd legislature. Speaker-elect Hall said he's looking forward to having more regular legislative sessions, noting the lack of hardly any sessions in the second half of this year.
I don't think most people know that. So for me, I think number one, I'd like to hold session regularly. One of the reasons the Democrats lost their majority is because they were too afraid of losing it, and they didn't have session, and they didn't take tough votes. I don't think that's how you lead a body.
Hall said the people of Michigan want their leaders to take action, though a lot of action is expected between now and the end of the year. The Democrat-controlled legislature is in place until the end of the year, and so they're meeting in lame duck session with work days expected between now and possibly late December. So they're trying to get as much done as they can until the Republicans take over the House in January. If you'll be heading to the Upper Peninsula next year, there's some road work on the Mackinac Bridge. Bridge Authority Assistant Bridge Engineer Matt Makarowitz says they will be repaving a whole lot of it.
So the northbound lanes will be closed, and this will happen whenever weather allows us to. I've heard that this winter is supposed to be a little worse than last winter, but last winter won't be very hard to beat. So we'll close when weather allows. And the only thing that is going to happen in those northbound lanes is that Pier 34 modular joint will be installed.
Makarowitz says they'll maintain traffic in both directions during the construction. He says the work should be complete by Memorial Day. So a lot of folks are going to be affected by that between now and Memorial Day.
Yeah,
it's a long time. And we were talking about this earlier in the morning. So Mike and I are probably going to try to come up with a name sometime this hour. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has announced the turkey naming, the annual turkey naming contest for this year's Turkey Pardon. Since 2022, Governor Whitmer has pardoned a turkey before Thanksgiving, and this year's naming contest runs through tomorrow at 11:59. That's until you have until then to get your name submission in. Last year, the governor pardoned Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton. A turkey that was selected from more than 3,900 entries.
I'm feeling really good about winning this thing right
in
now.
the state. Well, I mean, Dolly Parton, that was a little lame.
Yeah.
But in 2022, the governor pardoned Mitch E. Gander. Get it? Mitch E. Gander?
Yeah.
Mitch E. Gander. There's no limit on how many submissions you can put in. You can submit the contest. We have a link for more information at our website, WSJM.com. Governor Whitmer says she looks forward to reviewing all the fun, creative names the Michiganders come up with this year. And probably, it doesn't say it here, but she probably does not look forward to reviewing these smart aleck names. She'll have staff do that.
Right. I was gonna say, of all the things going on in Michigan right now, naming the turkey shouldn't be the first thing on
Well,
the
come
governor's
on. I mean,
list,
it's
but
the holiday season. Get ready for it. I'm ready to skip past Thanksgiving. We were watching, I kid you not, we were watching Christmas movies last night.
I saw them being advertised, and this morning on the way here, I saw Christmas lights on
Did you?
people's houses.
Yeah.
Not there without the lights on, but the lights on.
Have you seen, speaking of lights, holiday lights, have you seen people with Halloween lights?
Yeah.
Like they look like Christmas lights,
But
except
they're
they're Halloween
orange.
colored.
Yeah. I've seen
Like
that.
orange and purple and such like that. Do they just have like some kind of controller that can turn them red and green?
Oh, hadn't thought about that.
Because I
Possibly.
mean, because if there's not a business idea out there, trademark, patent.
Done.
I called it. But yeah, they're already out. Yeah, the decorations.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the inflatable snowman to be out.
Right.
So-
To replace the skeleton. Maybe the skeleton becomes Santa.
Oh yeah, it kind of fills out a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. Floop. All right, it's 7-11. We've got sports coming up next from Dave Wolf.
The Detroit Lions were in Houston on Sunday Night Football last night, and despite never playing with the lead, the Lions had the lead when it mattered the most, when the clock hit 0.
Do that. Okay. Always appreciate a Lions win. That was cool.
Yeah, very good.
Did you watch the game?
I did watch some of it. I actually went to bed because I had to get up and go to the radio station.
Oh, very good. Yes, I did not watch the game, but not because of sleep, just because I don't typically watch the sports ball. But I did enjoy hearing the recap this morning. 26-23 was the final there. Detroit Lions over the Houston Texans. I did get last week, I don't know if you caught this, but last week I was having issues with the Facebook interface here on the video StreamYard. And the company that provides our video streaming service has acknowledged there is an issue on their end.
Oh,
and
really?
so what pops up on my screen here are comments from Facebook user, but that's only in the interface and it's only some of them. So like Pray Southwest Michigan, I can see theirs and they say, good morning, good morning,
Good morning.
good morning. And others just come in as Facebook user. I know this one is Bill, at least I think it's Bill, because he says, good morning, guys. And then somebody else just posted, such a good game. Let's go Lions. So they're having issues with their interface.
I do remember Bill supporting me last week, and I still greatly appreciate that.
What did he support you on last week?
You gave me some type of English lesson or something like that, and he was like,
It was,
so, thanks,
but,
Bill.
but it was well heard. It was a good one.
Well, I don't know. I've forgotten it already.
I'll remind you at some point. No, it's good. So it is the WSJM morning show. If you have an idea for what we could potentially suggest the governor name the turkey that she's going to pardon, put it in the comments. We'd be more than happy to give you some feedback. What do you think? Turkey name. Turkey name. Turkey name.
Turkey name. Well, based on what's won in the past, it kind of really takes it down a different road than
You're thinking the bar is pretty
Marsha
low.
or- yeah.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah, Dolly Parton.
Okay, so we're thinking about Michigan. We're thinking about turkeys. We're thinking about the holidays. What would be a good one? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, well, there you go. Somebody said, somebody mentioned name it Stewart. I'm going to guess that that's probably my son, Stewart. Is that-
Probably. I would be my
Are you looking
guess.
at the Facebook comments? Do you have access to them
I was notified and
on yours?
I'll see.
See if you have access to it, because I know that you can see the names. I just can't say the name. Someone else says, let's name her Pebble. Why Pebble? Why would we name her Pebble? I like the idea.
Let's see, Stewart. Yeah, such a good game. It was a good game, Stewart. And Stewart did say to name it Stewart.
Who did the Pebble?
Then Stewart. Stewart also.
All
went
right,
with
Stewart.
Pebble.
All right, Stewart.
Stewart.
That's
is,
enough from you. We're going.
Stewart is ready to go this morning.
Yeah, he is. We're going to turn off your access there.
All 3 comments from me. He says.
Yeah.
Keep
All right.
going, Stewart.
It's 7:15. We've got weather coming up in just a moment from Carrie Peugeot. And then a couple of, we need to talk about the transition, what's happening with Donald Trump. Yesterday, President-elect Donald Trump said Tom Homan, former acting U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director, will be his new border czar in his new administration. So we'll talk about that in just a moment right here on WSJM.
With cash prizes, mentorship, and business support on the line, Hype is your chance to see the next big thing come to life. Plus, you get to vote for the crowd favorites. Don't miss this inspiring event featuring a panel of established local business leaders like I.A. Akahigbe of Sticky Spoons Jam, Chris Mason of Watermark Brewing Company, Stephanie Ott of Baseballs & Co., and Dustin Lester from Pipestone Creek Golf Course, who will serve as judges for the event. Admission is free, but space is limited, so RSVP now at smrchamber.com/hype. That's smrchamber.com/hype.
Partly sunny skies today, breezy and still cool. We're going to end up in the mid 50s for highs technically today, but in the afternoon we'll drop back into the upper 40s. This evening we'll see a few lake effect rain showers, mainly sprinkles, and then we'll clear out after midnight, dropping down to 35. Sun and only 47 tomorrow. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
7:16, it's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. With me, my co-host this morning, Mike Weibel.
Good morning.
Hello. 51 degrees in Benton Harbor right now. Windy conditions. St. Joseph, 51 and windy, and South Haven is 47 and mostly cloudy right now. We've thrown it open to anyone who's watching our video, our live stream on Facebook or on YouTube. If you have suggestions or ideas for what to name the turkey that the governor is going to pardon later on this month, put them in there. Let's talk about the suggestions. Maybe as a collective, we can come to a best suggestion.
I think that would be really
and
cool.
put it in, and then we can win. We can win.
Will boast.
We'll boast naming rights.
That's right. And we'll make fun of all other morning shows that lost.
Well, I mean, you think about it. The Dolly Parton.
Yeah,
really?
that's
Last year's name winner was Dolly Parton.
Yeah, obviously there's not a lot of participation.
We love Dolly Parton.
Right.
But I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
I wonder if that was Gretchen's husband came up with that.
I don't know. Gretchen likes Governor Whitmer. She likes rock and roll. So maybe he's a little bit country and she's a little bit rock and roll. Sorry. All right. Some of the news that we're covering this morning. Overnight, we learned President-elect Donald Trump says that Tom Homan, his former acting U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Officer, is going to serve as border czar in his incoming administration. He said that on Truth Social, his social media site, he said, "I'm pleased to announce that former ICE director and stalwart on border control, Tom Homan, will be joining the Trump administration in charge of our nation's borders." Homan was widely expected to be offered a position related to the border and Trump's pledge to launch the largest deportation operation in the country's history. In addition to overseeing the southern and northern borders of maritime aviation security, Trump said Homan will be in charge of all deportation of illegal aliens back to their country of origin. So that announcement coming overnight. Of course, all the president's cabinet appointees have to go through the U.S. Senate, which will be controlled by Republicans.
Yep.
And so, but you can still have a lot of hijinks when the confirmation process happens by folks from either party. Other news affected by the former president's reelection, the Bitcoin is skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Bitcoin right now, fresh all-time high, somewhere near $81,000
a coin.
And futures premiums for Bitcoin soared in a clear sign that investors apparently believe the record run in the world's largest cryptocurrency is poised for even more gains after the elections. Open interest in Bitcoin's price surpassing $90,000 rose to more than $2.8 billion on the popular Deribit derivatives exchange, one of a few crypto native platforms that offers futures trading in the currency. Deribit encompasses most of the offshore options market. They say the options market's bias is heavily toward continued momentum. Other financial terms that I don't understand, and talking about call options and everything. I mean, it's surging, Bitcoin, apparently because President-elect Donald Trump has promised to turn the United States into the crypto capital of the planet.
Interesting.
You ever deal with Bitcoin? You ever think about it? You ever look at
Sure.
it to see what it's about?
Yep.
Can you explain it? I can't explain it.
Well, it's based on like blockchain,
Yeah.
which is basically how. But the problem with Bitcoin, and especially when it comes to investing, is there's no. It's all based on whatever the market is dictating that day. But there's no. It's very hard to evaluate what a Bitcoin is actually worth. Because United States, we have a dollar. Well, it's backed by all the things that the United States is made up of. But Bitcoin is not backed really by anything other than the investor's idea of what it's worth. So it's kind of a, you could see.
Sounds like a gamble.
Yeah, and that's why every once in a while you'll have somebody call and say, "Hey, what do you think about Bitcoin?" And I know from a standpoint of our asset managers and people they just are kind of, their thing is that any day it could wither up and, legislation one way or the other could ruin it. And there's not anything to recoup at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and clearly those who are fans of Bitcoin think it's going to go huge and go long term because, it $81,000 of Bitcoin. What was it at the depths? I think within the last couple of years, I thought I remembered one of those current cryptocurrencies trading at like $17,000.
Oh yeah.
Like way down from its highs, and now it's way up at. Somebody's making money out there
for sure.
They're on a yacht in Florida. They're enjoying the sunshine
They
and
cashed in
a fruity little punch drink or something like that. Going, yeah, Bitcoin.
Loving it.
Let's see, what else do we have to talk about this morning? Other things related to the election. There was a lot of talk about this over the weekend when one of the things that a lot of Democrats were angry about, or at least protesting, was the makeup of the United States Supreme Court because of the effect of the long-lasting effect of the decisions that the Supreme Court doles out. And so when it became clear that former President Trump became President-elect Trump, they were thinking, "Oh my gosh, here we go again. How do we shore up what we have in the Supreme Court, because we're not going to gain anything over the next 4 years foreseeably."
Right.
And so they did what I did, which was look at the ages of all the Supreme Court justices, and they said, "Okay, oldest person, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor." And so there became this groundswell call from Democrats for Sotomayor to retire.
And she said
before the end of the year, she said no. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor has made clear she has no plans to step down. She's only 70.
Right.
She's only 70. She's made clear she has no plans to step down, according to people close to her, despite calls from some on the left that President Joe Biden should try to name a successor before President-elect Donald Trump takes office. How they even dreamed up this idea that would even be possible to try to get because they've had this issue in the past with Barack Obama,
correct,
and President Trump, where I think even 6 months at the time was deemed not enough time to vet somebody who you're going to sit on the Supreme Court. I mean, politics being what they are, they say one thing and they might do another.
Right.
But to do something from November 6th to the January 3rd, not going to happen. Or January 20th is when the formal inauguration takes place.
And the fact that she's not ready to retire.
But January 3rd is when the new Congress is sworn in.
Right.
So they would have until the end of the year to do something. And they wouldn't do it.
No.
And she's not going anywhere. Some progressives have suggested that Sotomayor, the most senior liberal on the conservative Supreme Court, should step down so that Biden could try to name a replacement in that window before Trump takes office. Talk has simmered for months over the possibility of Sotomayor retiring so that Biden could name a successor and ensure the seat remains a reliable vote for the liberal wing, but that has gone absolutely nowhere. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders said yesterday he doesn't think Sotomayor should step down. He says, "I don't think it's sensible." And, coming from a guy like Bernie Sanders,
right?
When he says it's not sensible, you probably
better
should pay attention.
Down your hatches.
Yeah. So, all right. We'll have more. We've got more coming up on the WSJM Morning Show. It's 7:24. We've got Bloomberg's Market Minute coming up and more chit chat right here.
I'm Jim Marone with Doubleday Office Products. Our motto is, we bring the store to you.
You ever have those look backs where if you had to do it all over again, what you would do for a living, what you'd be when you grow up?
Oh, yeah. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Mine was Supreme Court justice.
Really?
Well, it just seems to me like they really, number one, they're really smart people.
True.
Number two, they have the time and opportunity to just methodically think through every aspect of something, look back on precedent, look forward to the ramifications and the impacts, and it's a lifetime appointment. So you're not beholden to any political power.
Right. Once you're in, you're in.
Once you're in, unless you commit a high crime or a misdemeanor.
Right.
Which we saw this in the last Supreme Court session, where they tried to bring a couple of members in on that. You know, talking about money for favors or whatever, the appearance of impropriety. I don't know. So you never thought about if I had to do over again?
Well, never to be a Supreme Court justice.
No, you can't, because I took that one.
Yeah. Originally, when I started off in graduating high school and going to college, I started off in pre-veterinarian medicine.
Oh.
And
pre-veterinarian medicine.
Yeah. So I was thinking about being a veterinarian and loved biology and science, but
okay. Do you still love biology and science?
I do.
Do you read what publications do you read?
Well, I mean, I'm not like obsessed with it, but
because popular science and popular mechanics, those kinds of things, they pop up on my list all the time.
Yeah. But I fertilize my own yard.
You garden?
I do.
Don't you have raised bed gardens?
I do.
Okay.
Yep. Wasn't a great year for tomatoes this year.
Was not?
No.
Why?
I don't know. Just wasn't. My tomatoes didn't do well.
Probably the rain.
Could be.
Let's see.
Blame it on the rain.
Let's see. What else did I want to hit this morning? Oh, look at this.
So,
what you looking at?
Oh, who said what? Oh, good morning. Good morning, all, from Diane.
Hey, Diane. Good morning to you.
And some guy named Mike Wibble said,
that's you.
Turkey names Tater and D-licious.
Did you put that in there?
I did.
I like it.
Trying to get things started, Kindle the fire.
I like it.
Delicious would be the.
I like that one. Delicious.
Delicious.
Yeah, delicious.
Like it's if the turkey had a rap name, it'd be delicious.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Almost like ludicrous, only delicious.
I like that a lot. All right, let's see what else we have on there. Someone said name it Trump. Tater Delicious. Tater Delicious. Huh. The D is like their middle name, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have a favorite Thanksgiving? Sorry, I'm doing some additional stuff here. Do you have a favorite Thanksgiving dish that you appreciate?
I got to go to the standards, which is turkey and mashed potatoes.
Oh.
If you got that, you're good.
Yeah. Do you ever have a problem where the turkey is dry? My mom used to dehydrate the turkey.
Yes.
I swear she put it in a dehydrator.
Yeah.
Because it would come out stringy and you'd start chewing on the thing and your body would just all of a sudden, like that, and all the moisture would be sucked out.
One of my best friends in high school was Bill Anstey, and his mom made that year. I got invited over for Thanksgiving, and she made the first microwave turkey.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Put it in the microwave, all that stuff. We sat down and it was raw.
Oh,
it was raw.
Maybe it wasn't raw. Maybe it was just microwave.
No, it was raw. And so we ended up having mashed potatoes on bread was what was Thanksgiving.
Oh, all right. We've got to get back to the morning show. We've got the Bloomberg Market Minute that we're listening to right now. A couple of minutes of chit chat, and then we'll get to the ABC News.
To more gains after Wall Street closed out election week with its best week of the year and new record highs. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Good morning. Welcome back to the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. With me this morning is Mike Weibel. It's 7:30.
7:30.
7:30 already, and looking at the temperatures outside, we haven't moved much. It's about 52 degrees in St. Joseph, 51 and windy in Benton Harbor, 47 and mostly cloudy in South Haven, Buchanan. Right now, we're reporting 49 degrees under cloudy skies. We were talking on the video live stream about a couple of different things. One was what to name the turkey that the governor wants to pardon.
Yes.
We have until about noon tomorrow, a little before noon tomorrow, to get our name in. So I think the best one so far might be from Mike here, which was, say it,
Tater Delicious.
Tater D period licious. Yeah, Tater Delicious.
Yeah,
I like that. I know a lot of people named Tater.
Do you?
No. No, not at all. But we were also talking about, and so if you have a name that you want to put in, just put it in the comments of the Facebook or the YouTube.
If you have a name that trumps Tater Delicious.
Oh boy. Yeah, Tater Delicious.
Right.
Tater Delicious the second. I think, yeah, somebody else likes this name. All right. Somebody else mentioned Harvest Gobble.
Yeah.
The other thing we were talking about is what would you be if you had to do all over again career-wise? Mine was United States Supreme Court Justice. Mike's was, I just want to be me.
That's right.
I just want to be me.
Bill said, call the turkey Trump.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Bill. Got to get more creative than that.
Yeah. A little more help, Bill.
Well, a little more. We'll work on that. You got the foundation there.
Right.
We got to work on it.
We like the participation.
But somebody picked this out in the news. If you're looking for a new challenge in life, how about a snake handling course?
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, if you go down to South Florida, you got a lot of Burmese pythons that are not indigenous to the area. At Charles Darwin University in Australia, students can learn all about all types of the reptiles, including differentiating between snakes that can kill you and ones that are just a nuisance. That would be an important factor to have.
It would.
Like, let's
be very
see.
important.
That snake is about to bite me. Is that what? Let me look in the textbook here. Believe it or not, the course is actually facing some backlash. There are people who don't think it should be an accredited classroom experience, but instead learned through real-world experience.
Well, that's a tough learning curve.
I mean, no wonder it would be the Charles Darwin.
Right.
If you ever hear about the Darwin Awards.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, then there's those down south, they have the snake handling churches.
Oh, dear. Can you imagine? I am not going to do that.
Right.
All right. It is 7:32. We've got the WSJM morning show continuing. We have the latest from ABC News and then the latest from our WSJM newsroom.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Fires still blazing on both coasts. Santa Ana winds dying down in California over the weekend. That is helping with the mountain fire in Ventura County. In northern New Jersey, however, extremely dry conditions are fueling wildfires not far from New York City.
A rural area about 35 miles outside New York City, now the epicenter for rare wildfire activity. Tinderbox conditions near the New York-New Jersey state border, fire engulfing more than 3,000 acres and counting.
ABC's Janae Norman. President Biden will open up the doors of the Oval Office on Wednesday to the man who will occupy the office next. President-elect Donald Trump pushing whoever the next Republican Senate Majority Leader is to allow him to make recess appointments to federal judgeships, because Trump says the confirmation process takes too long. No classes today at Tuskegee University in Alabama following an on-campus shooting during homecoming weekend. One person died. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:34 is the time. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Happy Veterans Day to those of you who served in our military. We appreciate you, active, former, wherever you are. Thank you for your service. We
Definitely.
appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Forecast for today, partly sunny skies, high around 55 degrees, west winds becoming northwest 10 to 20 miles per hour. We're going to have gusts today around 30 miles per hour. Tonight, we might get some evening rain and then mostly clear skies. It's going to get cold overnight, low around 35 degrees, west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Tuesday, partly sunny, high around 47, east winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. By the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday, there might be another chance of rain.
So I just checked on the weather app. Do you know what the feels like temperature is with the wind?
Tell us.
39 degrees.
Oh, it's not that cold.
That's what it says.
That's just the weather guy who left the door open.
Well,
he's like, oh, it feels like it's colder outside. I love the voices.
You do. Yeah.
Partly sunny skies with a 40% chance of showers on Wednesday. A high around 50, low around 37. Thursday, same thing. High around 52, low around 45. By the time we get to Friday and Saturday next week, we should be clear of the chance of rain. We will keep you updated as that goes along. Some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom, we told you about this earlier. Benton Harbor has an opportunity to redo the Bobo Brazil Community Center. In fact, earlier this year, they were awarded a $1 million grant from the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity to begin fixing it up. Unfortunately, they have not yet signed a contract with anyone to do the work. And if they don't by December 30th, they lose that grant. So we'll tell you a little bit more about that story. That's coming up at 8 o'clock. In honor of Veterans Day, students at Southwestern Michigan area schools are recognizing veterans. A couple of examples we'll talk about. Bangor Public Schools, they're hosting a Veterans Day assembly in the morning, and they're going to honor about 50 veterans. Also, Eau Claire School District is hosting their annual Veterans Day event with their 22nd annual Veterans Day dinner. Yeah, so that's very nice. And then also a ribbon cutting for Mike's favorite new establishment in Southwest Michigan, Lake Michigan College South Haven campus. They are cutting the ribbon later this week on a hoop house.
There it is.
Oh, boy. All right. So we'll talk about those stories and more
there it is.
Coming up at 8 o'clock. Maybe work that into a turkey name.
I thought about that, but I couldn't.
Couldn't do it?
I got stuck on delicious.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love that. Tater delicious. All right. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher.
Say that again.
I said maybe he could become the morning show mascot
if we win.
Yeah.
If we win.
Put a little pen outside the window. We could
call me a cynic.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Call me a cynic.
Cynic.
Call me a cynic, but I'm thinking politics might play a role in what name they choose.
Yeah.
And if we put it out there, Southwest Michigan's finest morning show program, the WSJM Morning Show with Ken and Friends, they might say, he hasn't invited us on, 17 times in a row. We're not going to pick that.
Well, the last time they were here, they didn't let you know that
That's
they were
true.
here.
That's
so it's
true.
kind of on them. They owe you.
You are right. You are correct.
So Tater Delicious would float to the top of the stack
Tater
based on the snub that they gave us.
Delicious. We will we'll keep talking. Any more name?
Not yet. Kind of stalled out there for a little bit. But.
All right, that's fine. Okay, my favorite. If you see any comments on you want to call out there, feel free. My favorite.
Teresa's on. She said good morning.
Hey, Teresa. Good morning, Teresa. Did you have a nice birthday weekend? Let us know if you had a good birthday weekend.
I was gonna say, I'm just staring at the screen now, waiting.
Just gonna stare at the screen because we ended up singing her a happy birthday last week.
I missed it.
Yeah,
I came in right.
Well, you
after.
can go right now if you want.
No.
All right.
I did watch it though.
Oh, really?
I did.
How did we do?
You did.
Were we in harmony?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But definitely, if you
need some improvement,
if you're missing out on this type of entertainment in Southwest Michigan,
oh boy,
you can go to the morning show WSJM and follow, and subscribe
on Facebook or YouTube.
Notified. You get notified when we go live.
That's right.
So you wouldn't miss out on anything, and then you can go back and watch it if you get interrupted or
Do you ever Snapchat?
No.
I just re-downloaded the app this past weekend because one of my sons is on Snapchat.
Okay.
And like you put a message on Snapchat in front of him that has that is to him or has his name in it. There is nothing else happening in the world. He's like immediately right there. So I thought, this is how I can get his attention.
There you go.
This is how I can
kind
get
of like
his
an
attention.
Emergency contact.
So I out of the blue, I Snapchat, sent him a Snapchat message, and he's like, "Dad." That's all.
That's
like,
it.
Dad.
Back off.
Like, Dad.
So Teresa said, I did have a great, obviously, birthday week.
Okay.
And she said, you guys did awesome.
Oh, thank you, Teresa. We appreciate you. We appreciate it. Speaking of my sons, so Stuart is a fan of the show, and then Sawyer and Samuel, they got to see each other this weekend because it was Sawyer's birthday yesterday.
Oh,
Sawyer's
birthday,
birthday.
Sawyer.
Yep.
How old is Sawyer?
19.
19.
Yeah, 19 years old. And And Sawyer has been lamenting the day that Samuel will be taller than him.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Samuel's only 13, and he is now a full inch taller, at least.
Oh boy,
than Sawyer, who's 19.
No.
Sawyer was very
Goodbye.
depressed over the weekend.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, I looked at Samuel the other day, and I'm like, why is my neck hurting from looking up at you? He's a tall kid, and he hasn't yet played basketball.
Oh.
In school. So I said, you need to go to the basketball coach. You just need to say, Coach, I want to help.
Right.
However, use me where you want me.
Right.
Because I imagine, given his height, he can probably do some good for the team.
Yeah.
Because his friends are like this tall. They come up to his
grade.
head.
He's in 8th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's when I started playing basketball, is 8th grade.
How did you learn the fundamentals?
Basketball. I mean, I just
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
peers.
So when I first started playing, I was I was so bad that they would have what they called a fifth quarter. So
where just Mike would be out there playing by himself.
So it was during the years when Lakeshore was like we had some really awesome basketball teams, and there was everybody wanted to play basketball.
Yeah.
And so the team was large, a lot of kids out there, and so rather than just cut you down to your 12 to 13 players, they kept a hefty like 20 players.
Oh,
but
okay.
You did get to go in and play until the fifth quarter because you weren't good enough for the first four.
Oh boy!
And we called ourselves the poop scoopers because once the parade went by, we were out there cleaning up.
That was you guys.
That was us. That was us.
Okay.
I used to sit on the bench with Scott Hansen, and we would wait for our fifth quarter to get out of the court.
That's a great way to, at least get some court time.
But then I went to basketball camp in the summer and kept working at it. And by the time I was in high school, I was a starter. So
that's awesome. That's a great story.
Yeah.
You did well. Okay. I loved basketball. I played basketball and I went to the basketball camps, but my locker mate was like the star of the basketball team. This was in middle school as well.
Okay.
And during gym, we're playing, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I was, I just like
pickup game kind of
pickup game, and we're playing basketball, and I was guarding like this,
right?
Guarding like this, and I was guarding my locker mate, who was the star of the middle school basketball team, and I went like this, and he went forward, and my finger went like halfway into his eye socket.
Oh. Oh.
And I felt so bad. He was on the floor. I had a wet finger, and I just, his eye was okay.
Okay.
His eye was okay.
That's good.
But he missed a couple of games. And I think, now that I think about it, maybe that's why I don't like the sports ball too much.
Could
because
be.
watching it just gives me those
traumatic.
recurring traumatic nightmares, the memories of, messing up the team's season.
Right. So I
thought that's what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, I didn't play football in my senior year. Well, sophomore year in high school, I didn't play football. So we would just play pickup games on Sunday afternoons. No pads, no nothing.
Yeah.
And our starting fullback came and played, and I tackled him and bruised his thigh.
Oh no!
And so he missed a couple games. Needless to say, did not endear me to the coach.
See, same thing.
And his name's Earl. He's the one that does my winterizing and my sprinkler system. He still
on.
hasn't called me back.
Hang on one
which I'm
second.
still sure bitter.
Only 47 tomorrow. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Our friends are helping us name a turkey so that we can enter the governor's contest, which one we want to pardon.
Yeah.
And I still love Tater Delicious that Mike Weibel came up with. And then we're also talking about birthday wishes and stuff like that and horrible sports memories that each of us
Eye gouging.
Yeah, eye gouging. That's horrible. Just horrible. We were talking, you wanted to talk a little bit about a sinkhole, but let's talk first about how a Disney cruise ship, Disney's got everything.
Oh, yeah.
Disney has everything. They started with Disneyland in Anaheim, California.
Mm-hmm.
Then they said, well, we've got too many neighbors crowding in on our business. Let's do something out in this swampland of Florida. We'll take over Central Florida, a land that nobody else except for the mosquitoes and the gators wants. We'll clean it up and we'll call it ours. Fascinating story behind how that all happened, by the way. because Walt Disney, he didn't just go and say, hey, I want to buy Middle Florida. He and several of his advisors formed shell companies, fictitious companies, to go in and buy pieces of property. And when they all got together, it's like, oh yeah, we pretty much own Central Florida.
And they made themselves their own county. I mean, they had their own government. And at one point,
they got their own police, probably their own military, their own nuclear submarines.
Point, you couldn't be on the county board unless you were a Disney employee. Now that's not the way it is anymore.
But Disney World is pretty cool, and they've branched out. I mean, we know that they have Tokyo and Paris, and I mean, because who doesn't want Disneyland in France?
Right.
You got a baguette, you got great wine and cheese. Oh yeah, Disneyland.
Yeah, let's go to Disney.
Do they all wear black over there at Disneyland in France? Go ahead.
I wonder if Mickey Mouse has a goatee over there.
Oh yeah, probably does.
Yeah,
does like art.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Disney cruise ship, because they've expanded everywhere, including the 7 seas. A Disney Cruise Line ship, the Disney Treasure, ended up rescuing 4 people from a cat. Those are big ships.
Yeah, it is.
They rescued 4 people from a catamaran that was taking on water about 265 miles off of Bermuda yesterday. That's according to the U.S. Coast Guard. Coast Guard says it coordinated with the cruise ship, which was the closest vessel to the 50-foot catamaran. That's a big boat.
Yeah, it is.
50-foot boat. And the Treasure, the cruise ship, launched a lifeboat and successfully got all 4 people off of the catamaran. The Treasure has not even gone on its maiden voyage yet.
Huh.
Yeah, so it was out there just practicing, running around. So it's one of their brand new ships. This could be another case that they earned media, by the way.
Could be.
A Disney Cruise Line spokesperson said in a statement that the Treasure was heading from the Netherlands to its new home in Port Canaveral, Florida, when it diverted to the catamaran about 11:40 a.m. It arrived at 1 p.m. and rescued the 4 people aboard. We are pleased that the Disney Treasure was able to provide aid to the boat passengers in peril. Our crew members worked together on the rescue, skillfully demonstrating their training and commitment to safety, said the captain in a statement. Yeah, that's pretty lucky,
said the captain.
Said the captain. CBS Orlando says that the ship, which has 1,256 staterooms, that's a big ship, is scheduled to embark on its first voyage, which is a 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise from Port Canaveral on December 21st. Wonder if they have to do any cleanup. What do you do with a catamaran a 50-foot catamaran once you rescue people off of it? Does the Coast Guard go out and bring it in?
I would doubt it. I bet you it's
really
just done.
No, they don't just leave it out there, do they?
I would.
I mean,
you're gonna have to pay somebody to go flip it over.
What about the dog? Do they have a dog on the boat?
Well, that who saved the dog? That was Mickey.
Oh yeah, Pluto.
Right.
Hey, Pluto,
hi, how are you?
Come on board.
Do you need help?
Catch this life raft. All right, 7:48.
How insulting to be on this 50-foot catamaran. You're flipped over, and all of a sudden here comes a ship, and then here comes the lifeboat.
the big ears. Yeah, as you get onto the board when you're onto the boat when you're rescued, here are your ears.
That's right.
Stand in line over here. Oh, sorry, you're not tall enough. Can't ride this ride.
Would you like a picture?
Yeah. Only $75.
That's right.
All right, 7:48. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the award-winning and revolutionary.
I just like doing the Mickey voice.
It was very good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
All right, we'll do the Moody on the Market update here in just a moment.
Do it in the Mickey voice.
Yeah, in the Mickey voice. Let's see the Moody on the Market.
I'm Tarek Halsey.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Let's see. We've got should we do Yoga Life or the Preservation Awards?
Do Yoga Life.
Okay, let's do Yoga Life. That will be our Moody on the Market update here in just a moment, as called by Mike Weibel.
They I noticed they have a sign up a week or so ago. It says that it's commercial space for lease.
That is why we're doing the story.
Okay. Well, I was wondering what that's about.
See,
so
that's what happens. That's what happens is people drive by places, they see a sign and they go, I wonder what that's about. And they reach out to us.
Oh,
yeah.
So I should be reaching out to you. Here, I'll send.
Well,
Teresa says, LOL, you guys sound just like Mickey.
Thank you. Thank you for somebody, I'll give you her first name, Rachel. One of Stephanie's friends sent me on a wild goose chase on cartoons this weekend.
Oh.
It wasn't a wild goose chase. It was more of a down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
And for some reason, I don't know why, she wanted to know. She remembered as a kid watching cartoons, remembered watching a cartoon kind of like the Hatfields and McCoys.
Okay.
But went through on YouTube and found every single one she could find and couldn't find the one she was thinking of.
Huh.
And so she asked for my help because she knows, well, at least she thinks I'm a Google wizard. And so I sat down there an hour later. I'm like, I can't find this darn video that she's looking for, because she described it as having two distinct scenes. One of them was that there was a pig dressed up as a woman to get into the other house because they're feuding. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys.
Yeah.
The other one was the grandmother got into a cardboard box and was making the noise of a bomb, basically, tick, 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 to get into the other house. So it's like a Trojan horse type thing. And I couldn't find either of those two scenes in any of the Hatfield McCoy cartoons.
Genre. Yeah.
And she doesn't remember it having any big cartoon names in it. So like Bugs Bunny. I did find one, I think it was either from 1936 or 1938 that had Elmer Fudd in it. But Elmer at the time was in a monk cloak and didn't look anything at all like what he looks like now.
The early days of Elmer.
All right. Moody on the Market coming up next.
Yeah.
Isn't the internet an amazing thing?
It is.
You can spend time researching the fourth dimension or outer space, or looking at space photos from the Hubble telescope, or understanding AI, artificial intelligence. What did I use it for this weekend? I was looking for old cartoons.
Yep. So on my Google feed this morning comes up
cartoons.
No.
Oh, okay.
Close though.
All right.
But they were talking about in Wyoming where they found this thought to be extinct fish called the furred trout.
The furred trout?
Yeah. And they had a picture of it.
How do you spell furred? Do you know?
It was because it has fur on it.
Oh, furred. F-U-R-R-E-D. Okay, furred. Like furry.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
sorry,
I was
go
like,
ahead.
I'm like, that can't be. I mean, why is that on a feed? That can't be real. And I look it up, and it's not. It's like, it's a known.
Oh, it's like the key deer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a known scam, but still showed up on Google, which again goes to the thing of, well, if it's on Google, it's got to be true.
So this showed up in your news feed as if it were something real.
Right.
And you did a little digging and found out it wasn't.
Right.
What were they trying to get you to do? Just click on the ad or click on the news?
It was clickbait kind of thing, but
that's fun. Yeah. I feel like I've become keenly aware of what is clickbait and what isn't.
Yeah.
Like, and the old axiom is true. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
Don't click.
But it's annoying. I mean, and especially when the ones like they give you an article and you think, oh, well, that's interesting, and then you got to buy a 3-month subscription.
Yeah, those are the worst. Those are the worst.
Some of our local paper does that to you.
some of the things that you see on the internet or hear about old folklore. There used to be a site it's still there. Snopes.com. You ever go to Snopes?
Yeah.
And back in the day, they were pretty good at busting myths. And nowadays, it's hard to tell because they have like 20 pop-up ads before you can get into any information. They give you like a line of information, and then another ad pops up, and then another line of information, and then another ad pops up. So
it's like recipes when you go online, put in a recipe.
Oh, those are the worst.
Right. And you've got to go through just swipe after swipe after swipe to get down to the bottom.
Those have aggravated me to no end.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But I will tell you, every now and again, I do appreciate reading some of the commentary, because if I'm going at a recipe for the first time that I haven't gone before and I am having some trouble with it, they can talk you through some of those intricacies. Most of them are just talking about, I was making this and my kids are running around and I was spinning yarn or whatever, but every now and again, you get helpful information.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It's time for your Moody on the Market update. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And Mike Weibel said, do this story. So we're doing this story first.
Do it.
Yeah, this is the Moody on the Market update. Some of you might be driving by at the headwaters of Cleveland Avenue.
Headwaters.
You like that?
Yeah, I do.
The Yoga Life in St. Joseph, they've got a sign outside saying space for lease.
Commercial space for lease.
Commercial space for lease. And so
I thought to myself, what could that be about?
Well, and we found out. We found out not because of Mike, because Mike forgot to tell us, but other people.
Now it's Mike's fault.
Other people told us. And so we found out Yoga Life in St. Joseph is stretching into a new pose.
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah, I do.
Owner Brooke Margarone is announced to customers recently that portions of the Yoga Life building are now available for lease, portions of the building, and it's part of a long-term vision to be a community hub for wellness.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well,
From the time she opened a small space in downtown St. Joseph until now, building that huge building, the Yoga Life Studio building as it stands, she said she developed a vision of helping the greater community. She says, she posted this on social media, as we approach our 10th birthday, it's time to step into that next phase of my vision. We're transitioning to even more of a holistic and tailored approach to health and well-being, in addition to all the yoga we offer. So I get the sense that the yoga will continue, and she's bringing in additional other folks around her,
right,
who are part of that
holistic community.
That holistic community to bring it forward. She says soon you'll see more information from Infinity Wellness, which she created when renovating the building back in 2017. Infinity Wellness owns the building that houses the Yoga Life studio, the hydration and wellness office, Spore Studios, Healing Waves, and Soul Deep Yoga Therapy. She says it's a two-part expansion. It's about first bringing in additional wellness-based businesses that complement the work they already do. And the second part is increasing education around wellness, yoga, and healthy lifestyles. If you want to read that full article, we'll tell you more about it, and you can read the full thing yourself. It's right there at moodyonthemarket.com. Curiosity satisfied?
Now we know.
Now we know. The Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And oftentimes that's how it starts. Somebody says, hey, I saw a sign, or I saw some movement, or I saw something happening in a place I hadn't seen before. They give us a tip right there at moodyonthemarket.com. But the top right corner, you see send your story. You can just click on that, email me, and we'll check it out.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah. All right. It's the WSJM morning show. It continues right here on WSJM.
Rich Brand and Tarek Halsey of IMS Insurance Management.
All right. Well, thank you very much for everyone's good morning wishes and your turkey name suggestions. I think we got to go with Tater Delicious.
I mean, we got to.
Tater. Should we do Tater with one T or two? I know it's one T for the potato,
right?
For the tater, but maybe it looks more formal if we do two.
That could be.
But then I think it looks like tatter. We don't want tatter.
Tatter Delicious.
Yeah, Tatter Delicious.
Tater.
Yeah. Okay. Or how about P period Tater D period delicious?
Or you could do P period Tater.
I'm just trying
delicious.
to make it better. You've already got it. It's good.
Oh,
yeah.
I think it's
We'll
good.
do Tater Delicious and see what happens. All right. Thanks for joining us on the WSJM morning show. We're going to flip out of the flip out of the live stream here, and I will tell you our cameras are not ready yet.
So close.
We were so close. The other one that's getting something on its IP thing fixed is still out, so there are a couple of cables just hanging there. So we're going to deal with these cameras a little bit longer.
And now the engineer is out hunting wabbits.
We think he's out hunting wabbits. Yeah. All right. It's almost 8 o'clock. We've got news coming up in just a moment. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you on the WSJM Morning Show.